Hello and welcome to our presentation. We're here to introduce you to the Python library Papermill and how it can be incorporated with Jupyter Notebook to help you and your company work faster, improve communication, and easily implement a scalable workflow. Jupyter Notebooks are very commonly used in analytics for exploratory data analytics, performing tests, and writing reports. There are some issues that can come up when using them though. To get the right output, sometimes you have to run the file cell by cell. Changing parameters for testing is inefficient, and on a larger scale, changing the parameters on many notebooks can be time-consuming and prone to user error. In addition, working through a Jupyter notebook with little technical knowledge can feel like walking through a minefield. And finally, when managing a multitude of different notebooks and files, formatting can tend to be inconsistent and lead to difficulty analyzing results.
Papermill is a tool to inject configurations into a notebook, launch it, and collect the results. With just a single line of code, Papermill executes a Jupyter notebook with a different set of parameters and saves the results in the desired format. This can be done as many times as possible. What Papermill essentially does is it creates a different copy of the notebook for each new set of parameters. This brings consistency and reproducibility among the results generated by notebooks with different parameters. Due to these features, Papermill makes large-scale execution of multiple notebooks with different configurations efficient and streamlined. Papermill can help in automating the overall workflow of an organization. It can seamlessly integrate with the cloud. The user just needs to upload the required data, and Papermill syncs with the cloud, pulls in the new data, injects it into the notebook, and uploads the results back in the cloud. The results can be in any format. This functionality can also be extended to store logs related to the execution of notebooks, which can further help in detecting errors in the notebooks.
In this example, I'll show you how easy it can be to execute a file with Papermill. Here was a notebook that was written to analyze sales data for a Brazilian e-commerce store, the data of which was provided by Keg. And here's the code required to run this notebook with Papermill. The library is loaded into the notebook, and then the second line is executed to run our sales notebook. This outputs two files. The first is the notebook we wrote, along with the outputs of that notebook. You can see that there's this graph that is printed at the bottom. The other file is that same graph, but isolated from the notebook as had been specified in the code. While the ability to easily run notebooks sure is convenient, it's far from Papermill's greatest offering. I'm going to show you how you can alter the parameters of your Jupyter notebook. This notebook is similar to the last, except it outputs monthly sales data for a specified month, which we indicate as a parameter. To run the notebook, we again load the Papermill library. Then we must specify the parameter or parameters. Lastly, when we execute the notebook, we need to indicate how we want to name the file and how the parameters correspond. We're going to do this for 3 different months and have the images save with the month name. Again, it saves the updated notebook as well as the images. Here are the sales on each day in April and June, and lastly, in November.
In this particular example, we are going to generate a weather report for different cities for different dates. This particular Jupyter notebook generates a weather report for New York from 1st to 6th December. After running this particular notebook, a weather report for New York is generated. What if we want to generate a weather report for London for a different set of dates? All we need to do is use this particular papermill command. This single papermill, after running this single papermill command, we could generate a weather report for London from 12th to 17th October. All Papermill does is it creates a copy of the sample notebook with different set of parameters. Here the parameters are London with a different initial and last date. We can do this for different parameters too. Here we have created a weather report for Miami, US from 2nd November to 7th November. Here again, Papermill has created another copy of the sample notebook with a different set of parameters. Here the parameters are Miami, US, and the initial date of 2nd November and last date of 7th November. All we had to do is to pass our parameters, and Papermill does the rest.
Thank you for tuning in, and please make sure you take a look at our handout as well.